That was the name of the game. So Stats, he's trying to mix things up here. I think he's showing actually some respect to INnoVation. He's like, I can't beat you in a straight-up game. I got to try these weird builds, and it's not quite working out for him so far.
No, it's not. Well, guys, this could be a quick 3-0 if INnoVation's able to take out game number 3 on Overgrowth. Their third and potentially final map. Stats. Let's see if he decides to play standard on this map. I really like this map for INnoVation just because he's so good at those SCV timings. This is a pretty short rust distance, 2-player map. Good for that type of play. Let's go into game number 3, see if he can do just that. Oh, I thought we were jumping right into the game because the map is loaded. All right, excuse me, everybody. Got ahead of myself.
Well, we are going to jump into the game.
Really feeling this one for INnoVation. Stats just going outside the box here with all the strats we've seen from him so far.
Down here in the bottom left of Overgrowth, the red Protoss is down 0-2. It's Stats.
And up here to the top right in blue, it's INnoVation for SKT. So far, Stats, I don't want to say he's using gimmicky builds, but he's certainly not playing in a straightforward fashion.
Yeah. He's trying to be tricky. I mean, especially that first one. I think the second one, you know, just basic proxy blink, all-in type of style. But that first one was just like adding a little extra flavor with the DTs. But it's not really working out for him.
This time of year, this sort of thing happens a lot because there's a big off-season, right, after the Hot 6 Cup. And this is actually one of the first times in Korea where we've actually had a league start at the end of the year. Obviously, Pro League starts at the very end of the year as well, but that's only a recent addition in Korean StarCraft 2. So sometimes you have these players who aren't practicing that much. They're kind of just relaxing, taking it easy during this off-season. They don't have to worry about GSL, and the GSL actually doesn't even start until next year on top of this, but the SSL is starting early. So you have a player like Stats who's playing against INnoVation, who's actually qualifying for these tournaments and playing really, really well. And then suddenly, you know, you're not as in shape as him. He's playing in much more televised matches. He's been preparing a lot for televised matches that you haven't been. INnoVation won GSL Season 3, so he's been constantly practicing basically until the end. So Stats is going to proxy. He's going to cheese because he respects his opponent, like you said. He knows he's not as in shape as INnoVation is. And this happens a lot, like I said, during this time of year because of that offseason. And he's doing it again already here, showing us a proxy pylon.
And that's his second pylon even. It's a very early pylon here. He actually sends his probe home. And it's going to delay his Cybercore slightly here. But if INnoVation is paying attention, he walks up here with this SCV. He's like, where's your second pylon? It's definitely something you can look for and notice here. So let's see what he sees with his SCV first.
Yeah, the probe is moving down to the natural. You know what this also could be is kind of a delayed proxy Stargate. And it also could be, I guess in the best terms to put it, it's kind of like a Maka pylon. Could be there just to throw INnoVation off, like, where's your pylon? What's going on? And he just doesn't proxy anything there. And then INnoVation plays a little bit more defensively than he would ordinarily. You know, keeping his Marines back at home, might even make turrets blind because he's scared. Sees no pylon back there.
He's checking everywhere, man. He checked the top left. He checked the bottom of the natural. Going to try to come in here once again.
He knows a pylon's missing.
Wonder if he'll send his Reaper out on the map now that the Stalker and the Mothership Core are popping out here. Try to catch that pylon, find out where it is. He's already going towards the right side of the base, or of the map, rather.
Yeah, he's checking every location possible because he knows it's missing. It's out there somewhere.
Yeah. This is something that a guy like INnoVation will notice. Like, the second he walked in there, he checked everywhere. He's like, where is it?
Yep.
Where is it, man? You can't get anything by me.
Now he sees it, and he knows there's nothing there, and he's going to relax. It's not a very common proxy location because normally you see it a little bit closer or up to the top left. So I think Stats is hoping the pylon never got scouted, and INnoVation's just like, okay, I can't find it, but I know something's out there. But luckily for INnoVation, he finds this, and Stats has got to be feeling pretty annoyed by this. It doesn't ruin his build or anything like that, and he's not going to lose that pylon anytime soon, so it's not like he's going to be supply blocked because his opponent scouted it. But the fake pressure that he's putting on, just by hiding a pylon, is not going his way because INnoVation is just so careful. He's even checking further just to make sure. Notice that Reaper is checking on the minimap literally everywhere. And I like this follow-up. Now that he's been scouted, just go into a fast third Nexus. Let's see if INnoVation scouts that.
Yeah. One thing he does know is that the Reaper is pretty far away from the base, scouting the whole map. And also he's making a lot of sentries here to save up those minerals here for that third base. Like you were saying, the scouting is the most important thing here. He's going to try to jump up here with the Reaper and see what he can see.
Oh, if he gets in, okay, is he going to go check it? He is. Is he going to get to see it? He is. He sees it.
Oh, no.
Stats is going to be so angry right now. Everything has gone wrong, and that is the importance of scouting. I mean, that one Reaper checked every nook and every cranny and every crack and every shadow and under the rug and under the bed.
Under the gateways, man. And this is what we say all the time. This Reaper build, this Reaper expand, this is why it's so good, because you can get so much scouting information. Nothing can get away from you, usually. Unless you lose your Reaper, you're staying too long, you're being greedy. But INnoVation's too good for that. He checks around the whole map, and then he comes back to check the third base.
He checked everything. He's all-knowing in this game. And let's see how he can react to this, because he doesn't have a build that's rushed out and attack so early that he can actually go and jump in and do a ton of damage. The Nexus is so ahead, it's so early rather, that it's actually finished. And there is a Mothership core, and it does have plenty of energy. It's got almost enough energy for 2 Nexus cannons. And these Marines, of course, don't have stim yet. They're about to.
Yeah.
It's actually all going to be about force fields here as to how much damage he gets done. Is he even just not going to commit? Looks like that might be the case.
Doesn't look like it. He was just going for that pylon and just going back home. Looks like he wanted to set up a third base of his own, but the Zealot, perfect position.
That Zealot changes things quite significantly, because that puts INnoVation into an even further economic deficit. Oh, is he going to lose that second SCV? That would have been horrible. That would have been terrible. Let's see how INnoVation really wants to play this one, because he's basically allowed this third base to pay for itself and get a ton of extra mineral income for stats. Looks like he's considering moving across the map now that he's got medevacs coming out. Just doing some drop and splitting his harassment up. But again, that Mothership core at full energy right now.
That was another really unfortunate scan out of INnoVation, actually. He caught no tech, and he didn't catch any high-tech army units in there. There were only Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries from what I saw in that small glimpse at the army. And stats, he's going for Colossi.
Well, he also rushed that Robo out. I mean, it was like the greediest possible rush 30.
Yeah.
He went like 3 Nexus off 1 gateway into Robo. The only greedier thing he could have done was like add a Twilight Council and Forges at the same time. So the Colossus count is already at 2. Range is almost done. If INnoVation waits any longer, this base is going to be a freebie. Oh, no! The Colossus, though! He does spot it. Amazing force field to try to minimize the damage. Well, that was a great pickoff there by INnoVation and a bit sloppy by Stats. I have to give it to Stats so he didn't know that the army was at that location, or he absolutely would not have let his Colossus rally like that. But that was the one Colossus that came across. Had he just kept it with his other Colossus, if those two were linked up, he would have no fear whatsoever at holding this third base against this Marine force. No Vikings on the map, no Vikings to be seen for a long time. He'd be feeling great right now. Still.
Oh, man. Zealot able to trade here with a Mule. Just another Zealot out on the map here, just being annoying for Stats, chasing down the Mules.
It's that pylon to the top left he's got there. Okay, he's going to engage here. There should be 3 Colossi, but still, even with only 2, he's let this base go for so long that look at the supplies even, 131 to 114.
What options does INnoVation have from here? Does he just try to pull the boys again, like a little bit later? I mean, he's getting so far behind the more time he lets go by. Already +1/+1 coming out of the forges is going to be chrono boosted out. He's transitioning into High Templar as well. He's not going too far on the Colossi, only getting 3.
This is what happens when greed goes unpunished. If you look at, what the comp he has, he only has 4 Vikings. Yeah, he's making 4 Vikings at a time. But he needs a ton of Vikings where he can actually hit that pull the boys type timing to be able to crush these Colossi. The Colossus count's already so healthy. He's going to have his 1-1 upgrades as well. Is that his choice here? Is that his option? Is that the plan for him? Is that what he should be doing here? It's hard to say. There's very few good choices for INnoVation right now. Storm is on the way, and if he wants to hit this attack, he's going to have to hit it before Storm is ready, just like before. But this time, Stats has so many more units than he had in the past. He's got so many more minerals to make. Zealots, you know, look at his resource, look at his income, and how long he's had it. He's making 4 gateways right now.
Looks like so far INnoVation is just trying to put on some pressure. Still no boys have been pulled.
I think he realizes that pulling the boys is just not going to work. He's going to have to play a late game and hope that he can just continue to pressure and maybe even, dare I say it, in a TVP, take a 4th base. If he's going to pull the boys, he already missed his window before Storm. And he's going to take some more SCV loss over here because he's basically been just sitting in the middle of the map with his whole army doing nothing because his opponent has too big of an army. Like, the program of INnoVation is broken right now. Like, somebody divided by 0, and he doesn't know what to do.
He's like running in a circle in the middle of the map or something.
I mean, that's basically what's happening, because INnoVation's like, wait, my normal program is to pressure and then pull the boys and have 4 Vikings at a time coming out, and I kill him. This does not compute. He has too many units. 4th base, I don't know this.
This 3rd base wasn't supposed to come out this early. What do I do?
4th base parameter not found. All right,
well,
here come
the
the boys.
Are pulled, man. When in doubt, just go with what you're comfortable with.
If he can make this work, he is by far the god of this type of build, man. If he can make this work, this is just unprecedented.
I don't think this is possible, man.
Look at that Storm already on top of that whole bio army. No splits either, and he's got plenty more where that came from.
Even Zealots to harass once again at the 3rd base.
There's no SCVs left to kill. There's the Time Warp. Oh, God. He's going to walk right into those Storms while he's Time Warp. This is a massacre here. Not a lot of Colossi. The Vikings wipe those out. But this army that's about to hit 2-2 should be able to clean up the Terran force. No charge hurts a little bit, but it doesn't matter, man.
Even the blink forward after that Storm that hit the rest of the bio here. Terran is totally cleaned up. GG.
Stats is bringing it back.
This is actually so strange because Stats, he was like being a bit aggressive and like greedy in terms of like an aggressive sense, and now he just took like super greed in an economic sense, taking that super early 3rd Nexus. And even though INnoVation was able to scout it, he kind of just like didn't react for such a long time. He's like, what do I do here? Like, I don't have an army big enough to kill the 3rd base, you know. He's already got that Mothership Core with double Nexus cannon if he needs it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he had the timing was so awkward. It was such a greedy build that he didn't even know about the Robo, and then he was like, wait, God, you have that many Colossi and you got the 3rd base? I mean, there was no good choice. But you could tell he was flustered. He kept moving his army around the middle of the map in circles without being able to commit to attack. He's like, well, I don't have enough Vikings yet. I can't do this. He's going to have Storm. And he didn't have any units at home. Even the Zealots kept harassing him. Didn't set up a bunker or anything like that. INnoVation does not play late-game TVP, generally speaking. There are exceptions. But he likes to get ahead early and crush his opponents.